are, darling, 4 weddings. Here, Rocky 4, 5, 6.
Excuse me, I bought this video from you last Saturday.
So?
Well, I can't understand a word.
Train spotting? Not surprised. All talking in Scotch, ain't they?
No, I mean, it's the sound.
Yeah.
It's hopeless. It's absolutely hopeless.
Yeah, no trains in it either. I suppose that's my fault as well. Here you are, darling, $4.99.
Well, the picture's rubbish as well.
Well, that's your tracking, mate.
Well, it's all right on my other videos.
Tracking's touchy.
Be careful. Most pirate videos are unwatchable, and there's no comeback.
Got a receipt, eh? Got a receipt?
Look, you said last week.
Said's no good, mate. Oral contract. Not worth the paper it's printed on. Here you are, darling, 4 weddings. Train spotting. As advertised on Crime Stoppers.
Pirate videos, daylight robbery.
Hello. Everyone loves the Mrs. Merton show, and I'm no exception. But it's very difficult to blow your own trumpet, so I brought along Enid, Sylvia and Liz to blow it for me. Hello, ladies.
Hello, dear.
Now, what was your favourite bit of the last series, would you say? So many
Des
golden
Lynam.
moments.
Oh.
Des Lynam.
Oh, definitely.
Do you know he was lovely?
Oh, he was gorgeous, I'm telling you.
I
What
found
about Jo Brand?
Oh, Jo
I thought
Brand,
she
she
was
was
hilarious.
she was, wasn't she? Very funny. But Des Lynam, I was flirting with him.
I know.
Yes, I was, dear.
What about Ralph Harris and his
Ralph
didgeridoo?
Harris.
We all had a little feel at that one.
We
weren't
did,
we?
we
Did you?
Oh, well.
Do you
It
know
was
what's
there
lovely
too,
about him? Animals love him more than people, don't
Yeah.
I think so.
Yes,
Oh,
I
I
do.
had a little
But I
kiss.
do think
they? Did you have a kiss?
Back on the cheek.
Oh, lovely. Ralph or Des?
Rolf.
Oh, not his didgeridoo.
No, we had a bloated didgeridoo.
Oh,
yeah, we did.
Yeah, we had a blowjob.
well. Do you know, people tuning in now to this video think it's an episode of the Golden Girls.
Yeah, probably
won't
will.
they? It looks so glamorous.
Probably will by the time.
I'll be Blanche.
I'm not saying who I
Who couldn't you stomach that we had on the last series?
Oh, well, wasn't keen on Jermaine Greer at all.
No, she was hard work,
yeah.
wasn't she?
Chris
Yeah.
Eubank.
Oh, I
Chris
thought
Eubank.
He was arrogant, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
you did very well with him.
Do you
I
know
must say.
something? I walked over past his dressing room afterwards, and I'm sure he was crying like a baby.
Was he?
Yes.
Sure.
Did you not send your
sad,
threatening
yeah.
letter?
No, nothing like that. No, we never saw anything of him again.
Did you not?
You know,
No.
I think he wrote as a letter afterwards, but we just binned it because once they've been on the show, we're not
No, God,
interested.
Oh.
You know.
I believe he's gone acting now.
Has
actually.
it?
I think
God
so,
love
yeah.
him. Oh. So
yeah.
who else couldn't you stomach?
Oh, I think
I
We
was
didn't
keen
do
on
that.
Paul Daniels, me.
Were you not? Why? He's full
Well, I
of...
thought to go and teach you at one point. No,
So did I.
I was a bit
Sylvia.
jealous, you know, a bit jealous, but
No, he's got Debbie. What's it for that?
Yeah, but,
Any of that malarkey? No.
What about John Major's brother? When he
oh,
was
that weren't
Oh,
last
yeah, I
series.
never that was.
No, that
It
was
was
the
series
other
before.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So was
you
you,
were
what
behind.
about Parky?
Oh,
Very
lovely.
nice, yeah.
Oh,
Do you
yes,
know,
very
what
good.
about one time, I keep imagining this, if he ever got in a room with us four, you know,
Oh.
locked in and he just had a
sweat.
loincloth on.
Can you not make arrangements for that?
I think we should
I
do
bet
it.
you can.
Des
Oh,
or him,
yeah.
any of them.
Any of
really.
them, really, yeah.
Well,
Any, yeah.
we're going to show now the best bits, but if you do get bored of any of the interviews, do what I do and take a look at the lovely dresses these women wear on the front row. And of course you might see the same one twice on Enid. But anyway, girls, cheers.
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 Oh, lovely,
Cheers.
lovely. None of your belts, which was good.
All right.
Put the washing out in range. Your legs are full of aches and pains. The fine rain soaring in the street, a cul-de-sac. So
Northwest, we really do. Are you all right there? Bridie, is your hip all right? Bernard, how are you? How's your pacemaker? Did it help you keep the rhythm? Right, are we all settled? Yes. Oh, lovely. Do you know, I'm boiling now, I really am. I'm going to take my cardigan off. Irene, take your cardigan off, I am. So, let's bring on my first guest. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Football himself, Jimmy Hill. Hello.
Hello.
So, football, footy. What's its appeal, do you think?
What's its appeal?
Yes.
Well, if I said you can get away from the wife, it would be rude, wouldn't
Oh, yes.
And it would also be inaccurate, because these days, more young people, particularly young ladies, are going to watch the better teams.
They
like,
are.
dare I say, like Manchester United.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've got some of the greatest teams in the land here, of course, in Manchester, and of course, then there's Man City. But do you think things...
You mustn't laugh at the afflicted. That's very unkind.
I know, they try hard,
They have their
don't they?
problems. They have
It's
their
just
problems.
more of a hobby with them, isn't it?
Yeah.
But nowadays, you know, I think that when they score a goal, there's all that kissing and canoodling goes on, you know. It's a bit untoward. I mean, in the 50s, when you played, etc., it was just a firm handshake, wasn't it?
Not quite. Not
No.
quite. I always made a resolution, really. I prefer leaving kissing to after the game, and then preferably with a lady. You know, it seems to go down better.
Got
It's
lucky.
weird. But I used to go mad if ever I scored a goal, because it wasn't all that often.
No.
And I did score a goal against Manchester United once in an
Did
FA
you?
Cup semi-final. Would you believe that?
I love flukes like that, I really do. But that's what I like about you, though, you know, when we ever see you. You weren't, if you don't mind me saying, the greatest player in the world, but you're not bothered about slagging everyone else off, are you?
You should be... you should be very thankful that I don't work as a television critic. No, I would be very kind in those circumstances.
Would you?
But I condemned Mr. Cantona, who is a magnificent player, for something which I thought wasn't right. The kind of tackle on a fellow
Well,
professional.
I was very sad about that, you know, because, like, you know, when he accidentally kung fu'd that Cockney boy, you know. I mean, has it ruined his chances for playing for England? Jimmy Hill? Has it?
Oui.
Match of the day. Let's talk about match of the day.
Marvellous programme.
It is,
Yeah.
but
Even without
I
me.
think something you've neglected on Match of the Day is the women who are made to watch it. And I think every now and again, if there wasn't any midfield action or whatever, you know, you could pop a recipe on the screen. You know, flash it up every now and again. Something there for you to think about.
Yes, it would be. But it's a very strange thing. I haven't actually been on Match of the Day since 1988, when the BBC lost the contract. But I did it for 15 years, and I enjoyed it. And if
we
I'd have
all
been in
think
charge
of
of the
you.
programme...
We all thought you were.
I would
Was it lovely, though? You know, you were sitting there doing what every man at home does, watching the game, mouthing off to all and sundry, and you were getting paid for it, weren't you?
Yes, indeed. But one of the things that I do enjoy, as you'll realise, is having a laugh at myself.
When do you do that? When you get home and watch the video. No, I'm only joking.
Got you in.
But tell me, why are footballers' wives so glamorous?
Ladies
No.
are very shrewd creatures, and you know, some of them say, well, I would rather marry a husband who has all that money and all that glamour than I would marry a dustman. I hope there are no dustmen in the audiences. No, I don't mean any discredit.
I always think you can tell how well the team's doing by the state of the wives, you know, because like second division wives, they always need the roots touching up, don't they? Let's be honest. I mean, do you see Sylvia there?
Yeah.
Like, her husband plays Sunday League. You know. But that's enough about football now. What turns Jimmy Hill on? At home. In the comfort of your own home.
I'm a sports fanatic. I can't play football now, but I play golf and I play tennis. And I love sports programmes on the television. And my wife can't stand it. She is not a sporting lady. She is artistic. She paints, you know, and she gardens. And I can't understand that.
Yes.
It's a strange marriage that works because we are so different. But we're good pals.
Back to football then. Would you have liked to have been the England manager, like Terry? Well, do you know what I call him? Terry Vegetables.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's easy to remember. Would you have liked to have been the England manager?
I must say I wouldn't like to be the England manager at the moment because whether it's Terry Venables or whether it's Graham Taylor or even Bobby Robson, who survived because of a couple of good results late in his managerial career for England, they are persecuted, and it is very unfair.
So was that a yes or a no?
I apologise. You see, if you ask me a question about football, I answer it seriously. I don't really apologise for it because I know I love fun too, and I enjoy talking to you, and I enjoy your programme because you love poking fun at people, and I don't mind you poking fun at me.
You
do
fancy me, don't you? Oh, Jimmy! Jimmy Hill! What a great tell me, what's Desmond Lynam like? Well, he's a dreamboat, isn't he? Is he like... Oh! You know, to me, he's the Dickie Davis of the 90s. What sort of ladies does he like, do you think? Older ones.
His lady is blonde. She's highly intelligent. She also likes gardening, and she's artistic.
You share her?
It's not the same lady.
No, are you sure?
No. And he's a very, I was going to say sincere professional. He's a very talented professional. Making it look so easy does aggravate me.
Yes, me too. But
television is not easy.
He's so desirable to women of my age. He really is. He's lovely.
Well, it's
you
nice.
are too.
I'll tell him when I get back.
Do you live with him? Ladies and gentlemen, will you thank Jimmy Hill?
Well, that's very nice.
So, budge up, Jimmy. We've got another old man coming on now. They're up there. It's Andrew Neil. Do you know him?
Yes, he's a lot younger than me.
Well, my next guest was behind the times for many years, but now let's get up to date with Andrew Neil.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Who's the other old man coming on?
Paul Daniels.
Oh, Paul Daniels.
It's an old man special.
So what am I doing here?
Oh, very funny. I think you're the dad of them all, aren't you?
No, I was in shorts when he was doing the match of the day.
But that was just by choice. You were in your 50s.
No, it's because my mother found me in my dress and she made me change.
Do you know, it's lovely to have an intellectual like you, and especially after Jimmy.
It's quite a contrast.
It is, isn't it? But of
I hope the
course,
viewers can handle it.
you were the editor of the Sunday Times, weren't you,
So
for
they
a
say.
long time? Did you enjoy it?
I thought it was great.
Did
Best
you?
job in the country.
Do you love
Even
it?
better than doing match of the day. Yeah.
Oh, right. Anyway.
I did enjoy it.
I mean, I always found that paper a little bit stuffy. You know, there's no bingo in it, is there?
Well, there was. Actually, there was.
Was there?
There was, but it was with share prices.
Well. But, you know, royalty, you know, I mean, who wants to read all the time about intimate bedroom secrets of Prince Charles and Camilla Bowles? I tell you, me and Sylvia. That's who.
And about another 12 million
I know.
as well.
Do you
Biggest
think-
circulation, the biggest sales day we ever had was the day we started the Andrew Morton book on Princess
Of
Diana.
course. Oh, yes, that was marvellous.
Sells papers.
Do you like royalty yourself?
Are they watching?
Oh, yes, they're here. Didn't you see them in the conga? But, do you like royalty, really?
Not much, no.
Why, do you think we should get rid of the monarchy?
No, I think there's a difference between the monarchy and the House of Windsor.
There isn't. Is
There
there?
is.
Is there, Jimmy?
Well, they're not
Yeah.
Scottish, I know that.
Actually, mate, they're more Scottish than English. There's no English blood in them at all, except for Princess Diana. They're mainly German.
If they're German, we should get them in the football team.
Yeah, but I don't think any of them is eligible to play for England.
But the papers, it's all sex, 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 isn't it? Is that what you're paying for, Andrew Neil?
I've never paid.
What do you say? These days.
Well, these days I might have to pay for it.
But
That's what sells papers. I mean, the reason why we sell 1.25 million and the News of the World sells almost 5 million
it's
is
because...
sex, sex, sex.
But tell me this, you've never married, have you?
I don't think so.
No, you're a real Don Juan, a Casanova, a real-life Des Barnes. You are. From Coronation Street.
Oh, I've never seen him.
What is your
Is he
massive appeal with the ladies, do you think, Andrew Neil?
Well, I always had the biggest organ on a Sunday.
No, they both fancy me tonight. But you know who'd be nice for you? Carol Vorderman. Because she can add up. She's
Who's she?
easy on the eye. Count down, count down. And
I've never
she's-
seen her.
Have you not?
No.
She'd be lovely for you.
Yeah? You put a
But-
word in for me.
I will. But
Didn't
let's...
she do Tomorrow's World for a while?
Yes, she did.
I used to
See,
do
you
Tomorrow's World.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, we don't remember that. Anyway, let's talk about Europe. Are you,
Oh, well, that's good. The ratings are now plummeting.
are you for...
Television sets are switched off all over the nation.
Are you for or against Europe? What do you think?
I want to stay in Europe, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
What about Britain as a whole?
I like Britain. I love Britain.
you?
In fact, I think we should be calling it Great Britain again.
Do you think the
Instead of just
government are doing enough for the individual?
I think government does too much.
Do you?
Absolutely.
So I could talk politics all day, I really could. But let's get back to why you're not married. Let's take a typical evening for
A tip
you.
of a night.
Yes, you sat at home, you've got a smoking jacket on, a glass of brandy, a Havana cigars in the ashtray, and Pavarotti's on your hi-fi, and you've got...
I hope not, it'd break.
Oh, it won't, it? And you've got
It'd be through the floor to the neighbours.
You've got 2 pieces of Terry's chocolate orange left. In an ideal world, who would you give that other piece to?
Oh, I'd keep them for myself. I mean, who's good enough to share one of these Terry slices with?
Carol Vorderman. Esther Rand. No, I've just thought. Current affairs wise.
Current affairs.
Angela Rippon. You know, and she's a good dancer too.
Keep on going. Can we do better than this, do you think?
No.
No,
But-
all right. Now you know why I'm single then.
I think we all do. But
Who have you been talking to?
have you got an allotment? Because I was thinking you could get out and about, meet people of your own age.
That's why I've come on this show.
But have you never thought of going,
No.
of going into politics, you know, full time?
When I was at university, I wanted to get into politics. Yeah.
Because I think you've got everything it takes to become a member of the cabinet. You know, I see you in that David Mellor, Cecil Parkinson role. What do you think?
The insults are flying tonight. And it's interesting you picked two politicians who've been involved in sex scandals as well.
Do you know, did I? No, I mean, oh yes, they did, didn't they? But, well, let's talk about sex scandals
Oh,
then.
right, good, there we go. I'm feeding you the lines. Let's...
I mean, things like Hugh Grant, it was all over the papers,
Oh, it's
wasn't
a
it?
great
The popular
story.
press, it was.
Great story.
But who in their right mind would go with a prostitute?
But, and pay for it.
Yeah.
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant? You know, you're hilarious. Yeah, right, Jimmy?
I'm fine, yes.
Enjoying it?
Fine. Absolutely
You know, I've
fascinating.
just noticed Jimmy's trousers.
Has he still got them on?
No, but they're very televisual, aren't they?
Different.
Lovely. Anyway, who would like to ask Andrew Neil a question? Anne, Anne,
who's
what
that?
would you
Where's
like?
my
I get
date?
the news of the world, Mr. Neil.
You do?
But I don't get it for the sex. I get it for the bingo.
She's telling porcupines. You are going over all these sex among the soap stars. Go, woo, yes. I bet you're one of these people that buys the Sunday Times, and when nobody's looking, you slip the news of the world into the middle, and you walk out the newsagent.
They're getting on very well, aren't they? I've turned into blind date. Will you come back next week and tell us how you got on? After your date?
Where are you sending us to? We're not going to Skegness, I'm telling you. That's not at this time of year.
Are you courting at the moment?
No.
No? Then yeah.
But I could be after tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you thank Andrew Neil? Will you welcome the comedian Joe Brand?
She's just a clever woman with evil on her back. Beware the clever woman, she's gonna get you. Devil woman.
Joe Brand, you are the new Joyce Grenfell. Everybody says that you are. But what people don't know is you started out, before you were a comedian, as a psychiatric nurse, didn't you? Tell us about that.
Well, what can I tell you? Yeah, I was a psychiatric nurse for 10 years. And I have to say that it does annoy me a bit because people think nurses are a bit thick.
No.
Very unfair. Very unfair, because I worked on lots of different wards and I have to say, actually, my favourite ward was the anorexics ward because... well, at dinner time, I used to get 17 extra dinners.
But my friend Lily, she used to help out in a psychiatric home. She used to act as a guinea pig for electric shock treatment. Yeah. But you were there as a psychiatric nurse, and what made you think one day, you know, you were looking after these nutters, for want of a better word, and what made you think, no, I don't want to do this, I want to go out on stage and talk about the menstrual cycle to complete strangers?
Well, I thought perhaps before I talked about the menstrual cycle that I might try and sort of educate people about mental illness a bit and about not calling people nutters, Mrs. Merton.
Who do that?
Yes,
You shouldn't do that, Joe. That was very bad. But you, in your act, you do use very colourful language, don't you? What's the need for this effing and jeffing all over the shop?
Do you not like it?
I don't know.
Do you not?
Well, Jean does. Jean's there, second one along. You know a swear word, don't you?
Oh, yes, I know a few.
What's the one you always use?
The effing and jeffing.
But do you think it's needed in your act?
No, I think swearing's very childish, but I just
isn't
like
it?
doing it. Sorry.
But to Lenny Henry, aren't you?
I wish I was.
Are you not?
No, I'm not married to anyone. I'm a sad spinster, I'm afraid.
Are you? But you are actually quite aggressive to men in your act, aren't you?
Yes, but only in my act.
But in real life, you're not.
No, not in the slightest, no.
Sylvia over there, she's quite aggressive to men, but she's not near as funny as you are about it. Which is a bit of a shame, really.
She's made the start, though, hasn't she?
But you must have to deal with a lot of hecklers. Do you give them short shrift?
I do. I give them short shrift. I don't actually pick on anyone.
No.
But if someone heckles
Shouts
me,
out.
I feel it's open season, really.
Shall we try it tonight in here? Bernard, why don't you heckle Joe and you put him down? Not put him down literally. Well, you could if you wanted.
I'll tell you why I don't heckle her, because she's one of my favourites. I don't heckle people I like. I think she's great.
Oh. Look at that. He's only saying that because he wants to trap off with you after.
Bernard, have you got any condoms on you? You've got to.
He won't sleep tonight now. That's it, that's Bernard
I'll make
done
Bernard
for.
sleep, don't you worry.
Right, do you want to have a try at heckling Joe?
Ooh, ooh, ooh! Hey?
Was that a heckle? Oh,
that is the best heckle I've ever had.
I feel like David Bellamy on the wildlife program. I really do. But how do you think up a joke? How do you think? Because I think up jokes all the time, but I can never think of the punchlines, you know.
Yeah, the punchline's a fairly essential ingredient, yeah.
Say I start you off with
Go on, then.
it's quite a good start line. It's about a big tall man going into a pub. Say a big tall man goes into a pub. What happens? I mean, really, it's quite funny in itself, isn't it? Without the need for a punchline.
So, I mean, that's almost a joke. I mean,
What would you add to
I'd
it?
say a big tall man goes into a pub, but if he was drunk enough, he'd probably shag me or something like that.
Joe! But, you know, you and Claire Rayner, you're not afraid to talk about, on stage, your monthlies.
Monthlies?
Monthlies. Sylvia! Do you not know monthlies? Am I educating you? I don't know what you call
You
them.
mean periods?
Joe. Now, if we wanted that kind of language... All right, call them what you will.
Monthlies.
Monthlies. You're not afraid to talk about them, are you?
No.
On stage and everything?
No,
in front of boys?
In front of boys. Well, actually, it may surprise you, but boys actually do know we have them these days.
Do you think?
One or two, yeah. Bernard, you
Yes,
know.
but
Oh, he would.
But I don't
he
know how
calls
often.
them weeklies, he's that acquainted with them. But do you, when, you know, you look at yourself as a comedian, did you try to be in the Hilda Baker mode or one of the new alternatives like Sue Pollard or someone like that? Who did you model yourself on?
I modelled myself on Claudia Schiffer, but it didn't work. Something went sadly wrong.
You're not. You shouldn't have drawn attention to your size like that. Just big boned. We hadn't noticed anything, you know.
Oh, thanks for saying
Oh,
that.
that's
That's
all
lovely.
right. But do you know who's grown up now, Joe?
No.
The Walton sex triplets. Have you seen them? Now,
No.
they've gone really big.
Have they?
They're not as unruly now, and they're really quite big. Any thoughts, comedic or otherwise, on the subject?
Absolutely none.
Would you like a
Difficult.
child?
I'd like one of about 14 that could go down the shop and get fags for me.
Now, I'm going to throw you open to everybody in here. Who's got a question for Joe Brand? Anne? What
Have
would
you ever thought of hiring a wardrobe mistress?
Oh! Anne!
Do make you know, look
Gorgeous.
at Pavarotti out. Oh, I'm sorry.
Fashion. Fashion, is it important to you, Joe Brand?
Well, obviously not.
I think it's nice you've just thrown any old thing on. You haven't got it. You come out. Any other questions from anybody? Enid, what would you like?
I like the clothes.
Do you? Very nice in a sort of a lesbian type way there. Any other questions for Joe? What's that, this lady here in the peach jump?
I'd like to ask you, Joe, you know the time you had at the psychiatric wards looking after mentally ill, as they call them now, patients?
Did she
Has
see
that-
you?
Has that helped you at all? Has that helped you at all with dealing with some of your audiences?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
Yes, it has. It's helped a lot. I mean, the main thing when you go on in front of an audience is not to look scared, really. And as a psychiatric nurse, you're in far more scary situations, like knives at your throat and that sort of thing. So I learnt how not to look scared, and that's half the battle. So I go on going like that when I'm actually terrified, but people think that I look confident, so, you know.
Well, it works.
Does it?
Did you ever think when you were a little girl laughing your head off at Faith Brown on the telly that one day you'd grow up to be a dirtier version of her? Ladies and gentlemen, will you thank Joe Brown? Bernard's woken up with her. Roy's woken up with her. Who hasn't woken up with my next guest? Not because she's an old slapper, but because she's the best thing on GMTV. Ladies and gentlemen, will you welcome Lorraine Kelly? Lorraine, it's lovely to have you on.
Thank you.
We had Joe Brand, the comedian, on earlier. That's her there. But Lorraine, GMTV, we love it, we really do.
Oh, good.
It's just what you want in the morning, nothing too taxing, isn't it?
Exactly, absolutely.
Considering you're up so early in the morning, you always look very well turned out, don't you? Don't you, girls? But, you know, do you know Kate Adie?
Oh, yes. Not personally, but I've seen her on
Well,
the
you
tape.
know, sometimes she's on those location reports, on those war zones, and sometimes she looks like makeup's the last thing on her mind. Isn't she?
Well, I used to do that, and it is the last thing on your mind. But I used to get into trouble when I was a reporter for TVAM when I covered Scotland, because I always looked windswept.
Did you?
Because it was windy.
But when you go out of an evening and you get bladdered, you know, and then you've got to get up at the crack of dawn,
nightmare.
and then you've got to go on telly talking about hormone replacement therapy. Do you ever think, why me?
Sometimes I haven't really got bladdered for a long time.
No.
That's quite a good one. I've never heard that
You
one
not
before.
heard that one?
No.
Joe has.
I don't drink.
Do you not? But you're 35 now, aren't
Yeah.
you?
Nearly 36.
Nearly 36. But of course, what preparations are you making for the menopause?
Do you know, funnily enough, it's not something I've ever really thought about, but like, now that you've mentioned it, it is fast approaching.
I was thinking you could do a special about it on GMTV.
I think we probably will. In fact, I'm sure we will.
The thing is, you'll have to rush now, because Judy Finnegan will probably beat you to it. You know, because all the signs are there with Judy Finnegan. Aren't you, Reenie? See Reenie there, two rows. She started her menopause in the gas board. It was such a to-do. You see, with Joe being here, I've gone very liberated, haven't I? You don't get this with Alan Titchmarsh, do you? But back to the menopause. Did you remember when Judith Chalmers got hers? She was in the Algarve, you know, and she came over all hot and flustered, you know, in a 3-star hotel it was. You know, I think every woman in the country knew her secret that night. Something there for you to think about. Joe, when you start the menopause, whole new act for you.
Well, I mean, I think, you know, if you want to have hot flushes and feel depressed, you can go to aerobics, can't you?
Of course you can. You had Mr. Motivator on this show. Remember him last series?
Did you do the thing with him?
He's alive. Well, I don't know what that was. I don't think I did that. He's a live wire, isn't he?
He's a live wire, yes.
Did he exhaust you every morning?
Absolutely, totally and utterly.
It's all that jumping up and down.
I know.
Do you do that to Mr. Motivator?
Do I do what to
Jumping
him?
up and down and...
Do I jump up and down with
to Mr. Motivator?
Of course I don't. I lie down and eat a lot of fried bread.
Who's got a question for Lorraine Kelly? Who would like to ask? Roy, what would you like to ask Lorraine?
You know, when I look at you in the morning, I'm in a kind of a dream world, you know. And I look at my television and I said, I feel like crawling into my television and getting hold of her and giving her one.
Thank you for sharing that with me.
Oh, Roy, that's not a nice thing to say.
I don't know about that. It's not bad, really.
It's not in reality.
Yeah.
Don't get panicking.
Have you brought bodyguards with you?
Can I just ask Roy, do you ever have a nightmare where you crawl into the telly and it's me?
I don't have a nightmare about you because when I crawl in between you, I know I'm in the promised land.
Deary me.
Oh, right. Oh. Any other questions? Any other questions for Lorraine? What about this lady here in the front in the white jumper with the flowers?
Did your figure come back naturally, or have you been working out?
Is this to Lorraine or Joe? Lorraine.
I haven't been working out. I'm not very good at that. I mean, I know we were saying about Mr. Motivator, and I should really, but I don't because it's too boring.
I've been working out.
Have you, Joe?
Yeah, working out how many kebabs I can get down the
Will you thank Lorraine Kelly? Now, I'm not the most beautiful woman in the world. No, I'm not. Let's not start an argument. But I am natural. What you see is what you get. And that's not always the case nowadays. With the invention of cosmetic surgery, how long will it be before every woman in the country looks like Cher, Pamela Anderson or Lynn Perry? Cosmetic surgery, yes or no? Let's have a heated debate. Cindy here's had cosmetic surgery and Enid hasn't. Have I got that the right way around? Cindy, what have you had done?
I've had my eyes done twice, my nose done twice. I've had facelifts, 3 chemical peels, my lips made larger, liposuction under my jaw. I've had my jawbone reduced in America. I've had breast implants put in, breast implants put out, liposuction from my waist to my knees, dermabrasion, fat transfer. Do you want me to go on?
Oh, you must have been ugly as sin before.
I was no oil painting Mrs. Merton, no, I wasn't.
How much did all this cost you?
So far I've spent £50,000 and it's taken me 8 years.
Blimey, £50,000. And you know it's very hot in here under these studio lights. You might melt, it'd be all a waste, wouldn't it?
I'd have to start again, I'm afraid.
Are you happy now, Cindy? Now you look like a dog's dinner.
Of course I'm happy, sure.
Lovely. Oh, that was Cindy. Let me see. Bernard, what do you make of it all?
Well, I begrudge the money if I have one tooth filled.
Do you?
Yeah.
But what do you make of Cindy? Do you think she looks lovely?
I do, but if I wanted to be handsome, I don't think there's that much plastic in the world.
Yeah, but to be honest, Bernard, you'd have had her when she was an eyesore, wouldn't you? I think you would. Let me see. Pardon?
If she could sing.
Oh, he's had a few. Can you come over here, Anne? What do you make of it all? Plastics?
Well, I could do with a tummy tuck, but I'd be frightened of my nose flying off if I had my face lifted. I'm sure
Do you think we should be as God intended us to be, with all our bits loose and hanging out?
Well, when you get to my age, yes, you haven't to bother.
No, she's nice as she is, isn't she? She really is. Let me see now. There's a lady over here, and she's had cosmetic surgery. Bridie, could you just stand up? Stand up. Now, Bridie's had a hip replacement. A new hip replacement. Sit down, Bridie. But we have with us tonight a cosmetic surgeon, don't we? Hello, what's your name?
I'm Dr. Chapman.
Dr. Chapman. Now, tell me, you must have had a lot of ugly people coming to your clinic. Who was the ugliest?
I couldn't pick out anyone in particular.
No. Has Judith ever been in Judith Chalmers?
Not that I'm aware of.
But when you're doing a breast implant, do you ever, for a laugh, make one bigger than the other?
I think I'd be struck off if I did.
You'd be struck off?
I'd be struck off, I think.
But say, for example, say Jean. Jean here, she wanted to look like Cindy. How much would that cost?
Well, it's not quite that simple.
No. What if we had, say, Jean's breasts lifted a yard or so? You know, I mean, that wouldn't be vanity. She works in Tesco's on the meat counter. It would be health and safety at work, wouldn't it? How much would that cost?
About 2,000.
What, each?
Oh, no.
For the pair?
Yeah, for the set.
It's not worth it, Jean, is it? You never go out.
2,000.
Hey?
I'll keep me 2,000.
Keep the 2,000. Hey, look at us, Jean, having a national debate on TV about your breasts. Just think, tomorrow morning, Jean's breasts will be on everybody's lips, won't they? Ah, something there for you to think about. But that's cosmetic surgery sorted. So give yourselves a round of applause. My next guest is one of the most talented men on national TV. I love him, you love him, we all love him. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Paul Daniels. Oh, lovely. Lovely. Sit down before I'm sick. Paul, tell us, how's Debbie?
She's fantastic.
Is she?
Yes, she's wonderful. I don't know where she finds the energy to keep up with me. She really, but she's very happy. And we met Chris Sakabusi a couple of nights ago.
He's great, isn't it?
Great.
Because of course we had Debbie on the show, didn't we?
With him?
With Chris Sakabusi.
On the same plane.
Really, I know.
Let me tell you.
In the same hotel room, let me tell you.
You didn't video that, did you? Listen,
I'm only
what an
playing.
interesting interviewee he was, though, wasn't he?
But Debbie, I mean, she was a great hit with all the pensioners. Well, you're proof of that yourself.
I'm proof of that. The living proof, yes. It's astonishing. And I married her for her money, you know.
No, you didn't. Anyway.
Yes, I did.
I mean, with the unfortunate age gap, you know, I mean, do you ever think Debbie will be tempted by younger magicians with new tricks?
I hope so. God, I hope one comes along. She's so expensive, you know. Them clothes.
No, I think the public, we've been captured by your marriage. It's really captured the public imagination, hasn't it? Yes. It's like a fairy tale.
It's a terrible show, this, isn't it? Isn't it a terrible show? You never know whether the line is just getting set up for the...
No, it's a fairy tale. It's like The Princess and the Frog.
Well, that was, what was that line? That was Andrew Lloyd Webber. Yes, very much so, you know.
Are you still...
But I don't think Debbie looks a thing like a frog.
But the rivalry between you and David Copperfield, I mean, it's like Ken Barlow, Mike Baldwin, but with magic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you hate it that he's copied your act completely?
No, not at all. Not at all. I don't like him wearing my makeup, but that's another thing. The thing that... Have you ever noticed that Claudia is never smiling and Debbie always is?
That's true.
I think I've got a bigger wand.
I think you must have something.
Something.
But, you know, I wanted to go and see David Copperfield at Earl's Court, but it was too expensive. So we went to see you at the Pier Head. And it was just as good.
Yes, it was. I'm a little funny fella from the north and I have a good time. And I treat it as an audience participation, join in and have a bit of fun. But the show I actually take out has more people in it than is.
Really?
I just can't afford the big posters.
Do you know my husband, Mr.
I don't
Merton?
know your husband.
Well, I'll tell you what, he does a marvellous trick.
He doesn't.
And what... No, he does.
He doesn't.
What he does is, his hand's got nothing in it, OK? He puts it in his pocket, and when he brings it out, his fingers smell of cheese.
Really? Oh, he just...
How does he do that? How does he do it?
He's just baiting you, love. He's not really performing, is he? He's just...
Can you do it?
I can, yes, I can, actually. Actually, you can try it if you want to see it.
Oh, no, you're all right. What is it about me tonight? All the men on this show, all the old codgers, they've been after me. But let's talk about you and Debbie. You're in your mansion of an evening. You've put all your tricks away.
5 bedrooms.
And, 5 bedrooms. And Debbie...
Different one every night.
Really? And where does Debbie sleep?
I don't know. I've never found which room she's in. That's why I'm in a different room every night.
And Debbie comes in, she's got your Horlicks and your Sonatagen. You know...
Hot chocolate?
Hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate every night, yes.
Do you ever think how lovely things are for you, how lucky you've been?
Do you know what luck is? It's years of preparation meeting a moment of opportunity. I work like hell for what I've got.
Really?
And I'm chuffed. And I don't think it's a very good idea in this country when sometimes they say, "Oh, look at that, he's got a Rolls Royce, shouldn't have a Rolls Royce," and all that. You can have a Rolls Royce.
Have you got one?
No, I've got a Bentley, actually.
Oh, a Bentley. Lovely.
Bentley.
We're all delighted.
I knew you would be.
Oh, you're a tonic. You really are.
A Sonatagen.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you thank Paul Daniels? Ladies and gentlemen, will you welcome multimillionaire Peter Stringfellow?
Well, you can tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a woman's man, no time to talk. Stay alive, stay alive. Stay alive.
Oh, lovely.
So I finally made it on the Mrs. Morton show.
You're very with it with that hairdo.
It's all mine as well. Infuriates people, but it's still mine, folks.
No,
well, the front's
it's
getting a bit
lovely.
thin, but
Give it a round of applause. But, Peter, you own Stringfellows, don't you?
in London, yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, it's a wonderful club. It's 15 years old, and I live in it. I'm a professional nightclub owner. I live above the club.
Do you?
And I'll be there tonight.
Lovely. But, of course, you know, we all love clubs. I mean, I'm always going down the Legion here in Manchester. Is it anything like that?
Yeah, very similar. Only a little more expensive.
Do you have bingo?
No, but I do play the lottery.
Do you?
Oh, yeah,
In the club?
everything stops on a Saturday for the lottery. 8 o'clock, we open at 8 o'clock, nobody moves, we watch the numbers.
Oh, how lovely. Is there chicken in a basket? These are the important things, you see.
Of course there is. I started in the 60s, you know, when chicken in the basket was very gourmet.
Oh,
in fact, that was
it
probably
still
one of my
is,
first.
isn't it? But let's take a typical night at your club. Like George Best is there, Bill Wyman's there, Terry Waite's there making the most of his freedom. What sort of ladies can they expect to meet?
Well, invariably by reputation, the club attracts some very beautiful young ladies, as well as all ages, because we have a restaurant, and we have the club disco side as well. So
But say, for example, it's a very quiet night at Stringfellow's, and you know, the dance floor's empty. Is it up to you, as the owner of the club, to, you know, start the dancing off with a hokey-cokey or whatever it is you do nowadays? Is that your job?
OK, I have been known, but usually around about 2:30, after I've had more than my fair share of vodka,
You start
then I
the
can do
hokey-cokey.
anything.
I tell you what, who'd like to see Peter Stringfellow disco dancing? I'd love to see it. Could you show us?
OK.
Show
No
us your
problem.
disco dancing.
You have to tell me which era do you want. I mean, I've been around a long time. Which era do you want?
Disco era. Oh, who said that?
60s.
The 60s.
Oh, they want this.
Oh, no problem.
We
The
love
60s.
anything
I
like
can do
that.
the 60s. You
Go
ready?
on then.
OK, then. Here we go. The 60s, ladies.
Oh!
How about the 90s?
It's marvellous. You've doubled the clientele at your club now. But let's talk about the sort of ladies that you've been with. How many women would you say that you've, you know, consummated with in a bedroom fashion? How many women?
Well, Dorothy, it's not a subject I really, as a gentleman, like to go into. I made a big mistake once. I was with a couple of friends of mine who are also in the business, and we'd had a few bottles of wine, and Bill Wyman had just brought his book out, and he said that he'd kept a list of all the girls he'd made love to, and it was something in the region of 1,500. And I said, well, who would keep a list? Because I would never do that.
No, who would?
He would never do. But then we started talking, and he said he'd this, and I said, approximately 2,000. And then we forgot, of course, that at the table was Andy Coulson from The Sun. So he wrote the whole thing up, which I'm not very proud of, because normally I would keep it very confidential.
So are we saying 2,000?
No, that was last year.
2,000! Give him a round of Who'd think it looking at you, though? What will we do with you? But I mean, I'm not being horrible, but what do these floozies see in you, do you think?
What do they see me, Dorothy? I'm a good date. I'm very charming with ladies. I enjoy ladies' company, and I'm generous. And I'm a good kisser. Ah, pick that one up, girl.
No? Well, say you take a lady back to your bachelor pad above the disco. You know, I mean, what treats lie ahead for that lucky girl? I'm imagining a waterbed and, I don't know, a dimmer switch and vol au vents. Am I right?
I forgot about the vol au vents.
It would have been 4,000.
I do have a wonderful apartment above. But keep this in mind, I'm now single.
Yes.
So, you know, I can do what I want to do within reason. One of the things I would like to, I like to have a jacuzzi at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
You do?
Champagne on ice, which I think is rather nice. And then the dimmer switch comes in and the candles go on. And usually they get a taxi and go home. And then what the hell?
Well, say, for example, you're in that jacuzzi.
Right.
And say you've got Linda Lusardi's there.
Never with Linda. I never said that, love.
Say Sam Fox is there, and, you know, Anne Robinson from Points of View. Which is the lucky girl? How do you decide the lucky girl that goes with you into the boudoir?
How do I decide on a night?
Mm-hmm.
OK. Well, I sit at my round table in the restaurant. And I just sit there and I kind of wait for someone who's really very pretty and young and will say, you know, hi, I own the club. That's brilliant. You know?
And then they have to wait for you and you're emptying the ashtrays and sweeping. Let me see, Bernard. Yes. How do you chat up ladies?
I can't remember.
Oh, right. How do you chat up the ladies?
Well, what I usually do is take them in Yates's wine lodge.
He hasn't got that je ne sais quoi. He hasn't got that second division footballer's hairdo. What you possess, has he? You know, at this moment, can I throw you open to the audience and see what questions they'd like to ask you? Who'd like to ask a question to multi-millionaire Peter Stringfellow? Anne, what would you like to ask?
Does he still have these bunny girls in his club? Do you audition?
You're too old, Anne.
There was a chance.
Oh, no,
this
listen,
with a
Anne.
granny bunny.
we have all age brackets coming to the club. And if you came, I'm sure you'd be happy in the restaurant. It's a lovely dress, Mercy.
Thank you. You see, any age he's got it with any age.
Now, I notice how people dress all the time, you know.
Do you?
Yeah, I like clothes.
And most of them have school uniforms on, do with you. Don't you ever just fancy a quiet night in with your hot water bottle and some Vicks Vapor Rub? Something like that. Don't you think you're a bit past it now at your age? Oh!
Thank you.
How old do you think he looks, Marjorie?
Oh, about 40-something.
Can this lady come and sit here?
Oh, dear.
How do you feel, Marjorie?
Smashing.
You've not lost it, Peter
I've got
Stringfellow,
no lot bothered.
have you? We'll all be down your club now, the whole lot of us.
You'd be more than welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you thank Peter Stringfellow? Thank you very much. Thank you. My next guest has been voted the world's sexiest man for 4 consecutive years by me and my friend Lily. Will you welcome the dreamboat that is Des Lynam?
You made me love you. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. You made me love you.
For you.
Mwah.
It was slightly cheaper than the whole bunch.
Des, sit
You old
down.
smoothie.
Oh, I've gone hot.
I was going to bring one for Peter as well, but...
Yeah, well, OK.
See, I told you, Jean is dishy in real life, isn't she? Oh, she's gone gooey in the middle, Des.
Who was your nice friend who voted for me in that?
My friend Lily.
Is she here tonight?
She's still in the home, Des, I'm sorry.
That's
But
probably,
she'll be watching.
that's probably where she met me.
But that's you, Des. You've got charm oozing from every orifice. You really have.
How
it's
do you
lovely. What's the secret of being a good sports presenter, would you say?
I don't know, I'm still working on it. I've been working on it for about 28 years. I don't think I've kind of mastered it yet. I'm still sort of learning the ropes, really.
But you're always so cool and calm. What ruffles Des Lynam's feathers?
Mrs. Merton, I think.
Oh!
I've seen you from afar.
Well, you're close to me now.
Yes. You've had a sort of glint in your eye for some time. You see, I have this slight reputation with women of a certain age, and
You do?
I'll be honest, I think you fall into that age category. Mrs.
Well, I think you're the Tom Cruise for, you know, menopausal women.
Really?
We're putty in your hands, we really are.
That's, yes. Are you?
Well, I tell you what, we had your mate, Jimmy Hill, on, you know.
Yes, Jimmy.
Jimmy
yes.
Hill. He's a little cherub, isn't he?
Isn't he lovely, Jimmy? Yes. He
No.
told me about you.
Did he really?
Yes. He said it lovely. I liked it very much.
But, you know, I was thinking, me, you and Jimmy, we could perhaps go out for an evening. You know, nothing kinky, you know. In fact, why bring Jimmy? You know, three's a crowd, isn't it, Peter?
No, I like it like that. Why not kinky?
Oh, Des. Oh, Des, do it again.
Are you trying to get off with me?
Yes. Do you know, ooh, can you hear me tummy rumbling? You know what, I'm egg-bound, Des.
Are you?
Yes.
Oh,
Do you know, yesterday...
They bind, don't they? They bind you.
They do. The thing is, you know, yesterday I was quite the opposite.
Were you?
Yes, it's weird, isn't it? How are you, bowel-wise?
Well,
Are you regular, Des?
Well, yes, I am. Very regular.
And are they quite
yes.
lenient about that type of thing with grandstand and...
Well, I don't do grandstand so much these days. When I
No.
was on it, though, you had to sort of make certain arrangements, rather like the Queen Mother or the Queen. You
tell
took
them
every
what
opportunity.
time.
No, you took every opportunity you got to go, even when you
if you
didn't need.
want... Yes.
Yeah, we were ahead of ourselves
Let's
there.
all
weren't we?
imagine that for a
Yeah.
few minutes.
Yes, yes.
But you, of course, you did the holiday programmes, didn't you?
Yes, I had a go at that as well. I was jack of all trades, master of none, really.
But
Yeah.
what do you look like in trunks, Des?
Bit dodgy around the leg area, to be perfectly honest.
Really?
Well, a bit. They could do with a bit more muscle tone.
I think they're lovely, I really do.
You haven't seen them.
I know. It's my imagination.
I wouldn't cast aspersions about your figure without seeing it.
Maybe later. But
I mean, you've got a lovely breast, I imagine.
No, I've got
scarcely-
two. What do you think of Judith Chalmers?
Judith Chalmers.
Yeah, she does
She
the
does
other
ITV,
holiday.
doesn't she? Yes.
Yeah.
Well, she's a nice lady, isn't she? She's.
I always wonder about her, you know, how her bowels cope. Because, you know,
Well-
she's there abroad, you get a dicky tummy, don't you?
You do. Well, I think that she's very regular in India.
What?
She's going and goer quite a lot.
Do you know, Petey, you must think we're leaving your bowels out.
Believe me, I'm happy about it.
Are you regular, you know, with all that disco dancing?
Actually, because I don't know why, but I'm pretty good with that kind of thing. You know, I only see the Lose once or twice a year in the club, you know.
Do you go to his club, Des?
I have been to his club.
Have
yes.
you?
Yes, a couple of times. Yeah.
Is he a good dancer, Peter?
No.
No? Are you good at the smoochies, the slowy dances?
Why do you want to?
Well, oh! Do you know, my husband will be watching me like a hawk tonight.
Well, we'll keep a certain distance. Do you want to have a little?
Do you know, I've gone all moist.
It's only a thought. I mean,
No, it's
not
a promise. You said it. What sort of
compulsory,
ladies?
really.
What sort of ladies do you like, Des?
I like mature ladies.
Do you?
Yes, I really do, Mrs. Merton. Yeah.
Say you were taking a lady out for a romantic evening. Where would you take me? Her? Where would you take her?
I would take her somewhere quite sophisticated.
Oh, yes.
We'd probably have a moonlight supper on the banks of the River Thames, somewhere romantic. Moonlight
Coming off on us.
coming off the river, so to speak, on us.
On us.
On whoever it would be, and we would. I would get to know her mind. I would get to know what makes her tick, what makes her such a beautiful woman. Not physically necessarily, but
What if physically as
intellectually.
well?
Yeah, we get round to physically. I
No.
guess.
Oh.
Would that be, is that
What a
reasonable?
load of rubbish.
Do you want me to be honest now? Yeah. 2 pints of lager and back to her place.
No, I had a dream about you, Des, and I'll tell you what it was. We were having a picnic, me and you, and then it
Not by the Thames, by any
It
chance.
was
it?
actually.
Was it?
And then it started to pour down, and you held me close, and then you sheltered me under your moustache from the rain. Have you ever had that dream? Have you, Peter?
What about his moustache now?
I don't think you could get under there.
I think I could. I'd have a damn good try. Wouldn't you, Marjorie?
Which is Marjorie?
That's
That's
Marjorie.
mine.
Oh,
That's
she's
mine.
right.
That's mine. Get your bloody own.
I saw you with her.
Hey, I'm going
I get
begging.
very jealous.
Who'd like to ask the luscious Des Lynam a question? Roy, what would you like to ask Des?
Des, are you looking forward to next year's European Championship?
No. Because it'll mean too much hard work. No, I am really. You're quite. It'd be great, I think. But do you think England have got a chance? I think they might struggle. Do you?
I think so myself, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Croatia might win it.
Who? Croatia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you,
What about Italai?
But you know something, Des? I've put perfume on for you tonight.
I could tell. I thought it was Peter.
But it's actually very subtle. Do you want to have a little smell? Tell me what you think it smells like.
Well.
What do you think?
Excuse me.
Oh, Des!
You are naughty.
He doesn't miss a trick, does he?
I'm sorry.
You devil! You don't miss a trick, do you?
I came at No. I'm afraid I rather came at you, Mrs. Norton.
Oh, it was lovely. You
Sorry,
made an
but-
old lady very happy. Ladies and gentlemen, will you thank Des Lynam? People have loved my next guest for 20 years, and now animals love him as well. He's everyone's favourite Rolf. Will you welcome Rolf Harris?
Paint a man, you wanna be a painter man. Paint a man, you wanna be
I was trying to work out names.
Rolf,
You're supposed to go round
no,
there, but...
come over here! Oh, Rolf!
Hang on a minute. Does this undo? How's that?
Oh, right, Des, and now you.
Can I take this off now?
Yes.
See, I'm from Australia and I thought it'd be bloody cold up here, but it's all right, see? Sit.
It's lovely.
Thank you.
Oh, Rolf.
There's a thing, when I was watching the programme, it's been driving me a bit scatty. Every time you hold that up, you see it's boring, this black bit.
Yes.
And I thought... No, because I thought it was really boring as you did that. And everybody sees the back of this as you're talking,
they do.
you see.
Des only brought me a rose.
And it started to fall to bits. I noticed that. Did you see the bits were falling off it and
You
everything?
know you're marvellous at painting. Oh, can you do skating boards? No?
This could take about another 10 minutes. I'll just put the whiskers on there.
Yes. Oh, it's lovely, that.
How's that?
Oh, look at that, ladies and gentlemen.
Hang on a minute. No, I've got it. Because I get a bit nervous in these cases, as you know. Little drops of perspiration coming off there.
Oh,
aren't they?
do ya?
Yeah, that's
Lovely.
better.
What about underarm? Underarm sweat?
Okay, give us a look there.
No, not
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Oh,
Now, I've
Rolf.
stopped. That's all I'm going to... I won't muck about now. I'm
You know,
serious
you've worn
now.
me out.
I'm a bit shattered myself, yeah.
But let me say, Rolf, it's lovely to have you on. It really, really is. But, of course, you know, you've made Australia popular. you and Cell Block H. Are you proud of that, Rolf?
Yeah, I mean, I hope that I've been able to spread a few bits of information around, bring the didgeridoo out, and it's the first time anybody had ever heard of it, I think, when I
Yeah, we were
mentioned
very
it.
excited when we saw it. But, you know, let's take you back to when you were the young Rolf. And you were there growing up in the outback, you know, and you had
7 miles from Perth I was, if that's outback, but there you
No,
go.
it is to us in the northwest. And you were there and you had your little dungarees on, you were only a tiny boy and you were playing
you
with
see,
Skippy.
No, because nobody could afford dungarees in those days. I had one pair of shorts and my mum used to make all my shirts and they were dreadful.
And
But
the lucky thing is, now you dress lovely. Now you've got the money. So you were there in a shirt very much like you've got on, a cheap, you know, outlandish shirt. You know, and all the other little children, they were tugging on your beard. Did they know that you were going to be in showbiz? Did you know you had showbiz ambition then at an early age?
No, I didn't. I saw, when I was 16, I saw a thing in the newspaper about television in America sweeping the country and cinemas all closing, and they explained how television worked, and I can remember thinking at 16, I could do that. I could look into the camera lens and I could believe that I was talking to one person at home in a room, you know. And I really got it into my head then that I could do it.
That is so lovely. But you did give us the xylophone.
No, it was the stylophone.
Oh, stylophone.
No, the xylophone is that thing that hit with the
you
fingers.
didn't. But you know, I mean, I gave my son Malcolm a stylophone, one of yours, for Christmas, and then of course
It was like a bee trapped in a bottle.
Oh, by Boxing Day.
I didn't invent the bloody thing, you know.
did.
I didn't.
You did. It was your face on the box.
Oh yeah, I sold it.
We blame you.
I invented
No,
me
by
face.
Boxing Day, you know, my husband, I won't tell you where he wanted to put it. But, you know, if he'd have sat down, he'd been playing tunes for a week. But you had a great time in the 60s with your little boys, didn't you? We loved it. And you know what was lovely? Two little boys, and they had two little toys, didn't they? And each of them had a wooden horse. And gaily they played.
I remember the bloody words, you know.
Gaily they played because they could play gaily in those days, couldn't they? Nothing untoward.
That's right.
And then one little chap, he had a mishap,
Yeah.
didn't he? And he broke off his horse's head. And
We
then...
should have done the song. Wept for his toy, then cried with joy as his young
playmate said.
She's singing this one.
Did you think
I would leave you crying when there's room on my horse for two? Climb up here. Climb up here, Jack, and don't be crying. I can go just as fast with two.
It's like Live Aid. It's like Death Aid. Right, Rolf, do you know what happened then? And this is the lovely thing. They went off to war, and then one of them, he lay wounded there on the
right, he
floor.
wasn't well, he
And you
wasn't
know
well.
who came up trumps?
The other fella.
The other fellow who'd helped him when he was a little boy. And do you know what he said? Do you know what he said, Rolf? He went, did you think
I would leave you dying when there's room on my horse for two? Climb up here, Joe. Joe will soon be flying. I can go just as fast with two.
How did he remember the words after all those years?
Well, you see, it wasn't the same fella that said it in the first place.
He just
it was
remembered Jack and
he
Joe.
remembered the other fella saying it to him when he was a crying little boy. And he came back and he said, did you think I would leave
I
you?
know, and he was wounded.
That's right.
And, isn't that lovely? Isn't that what life's about? If only there were more horses. If only we all had a horse. Something I've been meaning to ask you for a long
haven't got a
time.
horse. I haven't.
Why did you tie that kangaroo down? But, you know, let's talk about Animal Hospital, because we love Animal Hospital, we really do. But did you enjoy doing it, Rolf?
Yeah, still do. I'm doing it. I head out tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock to get there ready to start again. So it's every day, basically.
Do you think people start to resemble the pets?
You see it so often that they do, yeah. They get to be the same, yeah.
A friend of mine, Lily, she's got a bulldog. And, you know, you can't tell them apart. Except that Lily, she dribbles more these days. What do you think animals would say if they could speak?
They would respond to the love and affection that you give them, and they would be horrified at the cruelty that happens to them.
They would. I mean, I often wonder what deep secrets my son Malcolm's hamster could tell me. You know, Because he's often up there in the bedroom for hours with it. I mean, what do you make of that, Rolf?
Well, how long's he had it now?
Since he was a little boy, you
What,
know.
what age is he now?
Oh, he's about 10. He's got Brownie.
What, the hamster or the son? I was trying to find out.
No, the hamster. My son's called
I
Malcolm.
think you're making it up because, see, hamsters die when they're about 2 or 3. So if he's still got it and it's 10, it must be really heavily high.
I didn't say it was a lie.
Good stuff.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, will you thank Rolf Harris?
You are lovely, you know that.
Music nowadays, it's all acid house, indie pop, heavy metal. In the olden days, we only had 2 types of songs, good and bad. And they were all good, weren't they? Yes. What's wrong with the music business? Let's have a heated debate. What's your favourite song?
Oh,
Enid?
I liked Elvis.
Elvis, he was
Elvis,
marvellous. And it's a shame he's dead. Anyway. I mean, music nowadays, Mick Hucknall. Have you seen him, Jean?
Yes.
Jean with a big sweet in your gob. But you know, he's got all that long red hair. It's like Bonnie Langford gone to seed, isn't it?
Very
what are you
true.
sucking on?
What we looking? Treacle toffee.
Treacle toffee, lovely. But nothing to do with the music business, really. But who knows this one? Oh, I do like to be beside the seaside. Oh, I do like to be beside the sea.
Oh, I do like to stroll along the brom, where the brass bands play tiddly-om-pom-pom.
Oh, I do like to be beside the seaside. I'll be beside myself with glee.
There loves to be beside, the girls I'll be beside the seaside, beside the sea.
What's your name?
Kathleen.
Kathleen. What do you think of the Blair Oasis debacle?
Not a lot.
I've come all this way over. You've got to keep with it, you really do. I know one, and it goes a little like this. On Mother Kelly's doorstep,
Down Paradise Road, along the Berry, I come along Joe. He's got a hole in his sock, a hole in his shoe, a hole in his sock where a toe comes through. On Mother Kelly's doorstep, on Paradise Road.
That was lovely, wasn't it? It's like VE Day all over again. But, you know, I mean, the people that sing nowadays, don't you notice Madonna, all them, they're always touching themselves in the down below area, aren't they? Aren't they? It's horrible, isn't it? I used to see Doris Day do that. I mean, you know, she'd wait till she was off stage, wouldn't she? Apparently she was a beggar for it backstage. Well, that's pop music sorted out. Give yourselves a round of applause. My next guest is a man whose feet made him a fortune. No, it's not Lionel Blair, but just as talented. Please welcome the legendary footballing legend that is George Best.
ridiculous.
George, is it...
Well, that's a good start, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? A load of old biddies fancying you. George, is it lovely to be back in Manchester?
It's lovely. This is my hometown.
Have you fond memories of Manchester?
Yes, I had a lot of relationships here. I'm still having...
I think they're there. I think that's it. But you achieved every schoolboy's dream, didn't you?
Yeah, Miss World, yep.
Yes. Going out with a Miss World, of course you did. But, you know, you were a 60s sensation, weren't you? You know, all that marvellous football you played, and then, of course, all the booze. But did you ever... think, if you hadn't done all that running around playing football, would you have been as thirsty?
I'd have been as hungry.
You would. But did you ever think, when you were a little kid, you know, like knocking a ball about in Belfast, did you ever think one day you'd be famous in every pub in Britain?
Well, you hope.
You
that,
do hope.
that you could be big.
Who was your favourite player?
Favourite, I don't know. When I was a kid growing up in Belfast, there were so many great players. And the only club I wanted to come to was Man United.
Man United, oh!
And one of my greatest pals at the moment is Dennis Law.
Dennis Law.
And
Jean's a big fan of his.
yeah.
Oh, no, that's Dennis Waterman. Sorry. Well, he's just as good into his own way. But Bobby Charlton, he was my favourite player.
Yeah.
Did you like Bobby?
Well, there's a slight rumour going around about Bobby and I that we didn't see eye to eye.
Yes.
And I think what it was that we didn't seriously mix socially.
No, no.
Because
You were with all them Miss World.
Well, yeah.
And there's Bobby, bald as a coot, didn't get a look in, did
He did. I sent my son to one of his schools of excellence once.
Did you?
And he came back bald. And it really pissed me off.
Oh. God, you devil. It's all right with you, we don't mind. But, George, don't say it again.
Okay.
But, of course, with your... I'm here, George. With your... He's looking round there. But with your... Oh, by the way, your beard's gone. Beard.
Yeah.
Your beard's
The missus,
gone.
the missus.
Oh, how did that go off?
Orders.
Orders?
Yeah, the missus, yeah.
Because, of course, you're married
Yeah.
now, aren't
8
you?
weeks.
8 weeks? And she, of course, is an air hostess, isn't she? What attracted you to her first, apart from, of course, the duty-free?
Well, well, I think... Don't encourage her, all right? I think what it was, I'd never been in the club before.
In the club?
Yeah. Up there, you know. Well, you wouldn't know about that, would you?
I don't know what on earth you're talking about. No, you'd never been in
The Mile High.
the Mile
Yeah,
High
yeah,
Club?
yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about
Yeah.
now. Oh, Jean! He's stopping in for this. So that's what happened, is it?
Yes, she told me I had to clean up the act and behave myself.
Yeah.
And I did.
She didn't sound too clean herself, having a bit of a go in the toilets, does she? But, you know, with your good looks, you always have a bit of a reputation with, you know, you've been out with a few Miss Worlds, haven't you, in your time?
1 or 2, yeah.
Well, can I tell
Actually,
you...
it's been 3.
3?
It should have been 7, but I didn't turn up for 4 of them. What
is this fascination with beauty queens that you have? Can I tell you something. You know Jean there, the second one along, Jean?
Yeah.
She used to be Miss World. Miss Carpet World. I mean, it's not the same, is it? But you know, like now, I mean, do you still go out nightclubbing with like a couple of friends, say, I don't know, Oliver Reed and Alex Higgins? Or do you prefer to go and have, say, a game of darts in a pub and perhaps a small fight in a car park afterwards? What do you do now?
I prefer to go out with my friends, have a nice quiet night.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know, did anybody see the Terry Wogan show I did? Did you
We'll
see
never
that?
forget. When you were drunk as a skunk.
When I was drunk as a skunk, yeah.
Oh, we'll never forget that.
Did anybody see it?
Yes, we all did. We'll never forget it.
I didn't see it.
What happened to you that night?
I got pissed. But the nice thing was that a couple of friends of mine called me afterwards, Oliver Reed and Alex Higgins.
And they said, I wish we'd have seen it, but we were too drunk.
So they actually said to me, Bestie, you looked all right to us.
What do you say to unkind people? And I'm not one of them. But people who say, George Best, he's finished. He'll never play for United again. What do you say to those types of people?
Basically, get lost.
Do you think it's gone wrong, or do you think you've done great?
I think I'm doing great, yeah.
Yeah, I think you are.
I'm married to the most beautiful woman I've ever met.
Really?
Yeah, and she's
Oh,
different
isn't
class.
that lovely?
I don't know where she is, but...
But you know, we've got a bevy of beautiful girls gagging to meet you after the show. We really have. Where are you, girls? You've not lost it, George,
No,
have
no.
you? Ladies and gentlemen, George Best. My next guest is a huge hero of mine. He's probably best remembered for his many appearances on Parkinson. Will you welcome Michael Parkinson? Parky, Parky, Parky. Bernard, have you seen who I've got on? Parky.
Brilliant.
Oh,
Brilliant.
lovely.
Hi, Bernard. Fine, thanks.
You see, that's how lovely he is. He says hello to Bernard. But you are the greatest chat show host in the world, aren't you?
It's not saying much, is it, really?
What's your secret, do you think?
I don't... Flirting.
Flirting?
Do you ever flirt?
No, never.
I thought that, you know, they've been saying that there aren't any chat shows about. I think you're a marvellous chat show host, too, and I think that you and I could get together and produce some little chat show hosts. Do you think?
I love you, Parky. But you know,
I'm growing to like you, too.
we all used to so much enjoy your chat shows. Did you enjoy doing them as much as we enjoyed watching them?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's nice to sort of invite people on and sit down and have a natter, isn't it? You know, heroes
lovely,
of yours
isn't it?
and glamorous people and...
Who was your favourite guest?
My favourite guest, oh, I don't know, it's a difficult... Emu. Who said emu? Who said that? Are you a plant? Bloody bird, I hate that. Bloody emu.
But who was really your favourite guest?
Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali. But do you know who you never had on your show?
Who?
Would have been a great guest. Do you know who that was?
Who?
Me.
This is true. This is true. But you weren't around at the time, were you?
wasn't, no.
You're a kind of late developer, aren't you?
Thank you. So cheeky. But, you know, sometimes there are difficult guests, aren't there?
Mm-hmm.
I can always tell when a guest isn't working because, do you see Jean there?
Jean, does she go to
In
sleep?
the second one.
Hello,
she
Jean.
puts her anorak on. Oh, she's got it on now. I'm only joking. But, you know...
Is there any indication that when you get bored, I mean, do you start twitching or playing with your wristwatch, or do your eyes roll up the top of your head?
I
or-
sometimes nod off.
You do?
And my corns start playing me up. I know when they're boring, when that happens. But tell me this, in the middle of an interview, did you ever completely forget who you were interviewing? Who?
John Wayne.
John Wayne.
I knew that he had a nickname, which was Duke.
Duke.
I knew it wasn't Duke Ellington, that's for sure. I did know that. And I could not, I thought, was it Duke Fonda, Duke? I went through the lot and I could not remember his name at all. So, we got through to the end of the interview without me mentioning his name at all.
The same thing happened to me with Nick Owen. Do you know Nick Owen?
Yes.
I could not remember why or what his name was or why he was there. And the thing was, he didn't have Anne Diamond sat there grinning, you know, like a Cheshire cat next to him. And I completely forgot. I mean, people think it's easy, don't they, Parky? But it's not.
No, they don't know the kind of pressure you're under,
No,
do they?
they don't.
No, they don't. No wonder your corns go in.
But you know, half the people I have on, I sit there chatting with them like I'm the best friend, you know. If I saw them the next day on the street, I'd completely ignore them. I'd cross over. Aren't we awful, Parky?
Terrible. Do you ever make friends with people who've been on the show at all?
No.
You don't?
I think you'll be an exception. But you know something you used to do that I really used to admire? You used to ask a really personal question like this, and then you used to sit back with a simple look on your face, as if you didn't know what you'd done, like sort of that. You know, and I really admired that. Have you ever took naked pictures of your wife, Mary? I've learned from you, Parky, I really have.
You did that very well. That's very good.
But do you think there were more characters back then in the 70s? You know, you had Richard Burton on and Peter Sellers. We had to make do with Fred Talbot one week. But he was just as good in his own way. Were there more characters then, do you think, Parky?
I think it was the last knockings of that great era of Hollywood stars. I think that's what we got in the 70s. And today's stars aren't mysterious anymore.
They're not, are they?
There's a, you know, you want to interview Clint Eastwood, and I'm...
Sorry, Parky,
You're
very
falling asleep now.
unprofessional, wasn't it? You'd have never done that, would you?
Quick hands.
Have you?
No.
What were you going on about?
I don't know, I've forgotten. When am I?
Hollywood stars.
Oh, the Hollywood stars, yes.
The Hollywood
and I think
stars.
that they were, in those days, I mean, we saw Fred Astaire or Jimmy
Oh,
Cagney.
Freddie Starr, I love him.
Not Freddie Starr, Fred Astaire.
Oh, Freddie Starr. No, Freddie Starr. Now, he's funny, isn't he?
He's just funny as Fred Astaire, though.
No. Well, he's a good dancer, Freddie Starr, whatever he's called. You had him on, didn't you?
Oh.
Freddie Starr. Freddie Starr.
Freddie Astaire, we had Freddie Astaire on, yeah.
No, you had him on,
I
didn't you?
had him on many times.
And what was he like?
Freddie Starr.
Yeah. No, Freddie Starr. Parky!
Fred
What did you
Astaire, he
like?
was wonderful. I think the greatest star I ever interviewed.
Really? Why?
Just because he was. But I mean, to think that you were watching that guy dancing
Yes.
like that, and that one day you might say, ladies and
Me
gentlemen,
too.
Freddie Starr, and Fred Astaire came down the thing.
Marvellous.
Oh,
But
wonderful.
it's a lovely job being a chat show
It
host,
is. It's
isn't
a
it?
great job. You get to meet all these nice people like Chris Eubank. And
Yes. Have you ever interviewed royalty, Parky?
I have. I interviewed Princess Anne.
Princess Andy, what was she like?
Well, like most of royalty, it doesn't give much away,
No.
Dorothy, no. You must try and get roles on this programme. It was...
Do you know, I tried.
Did
I
you?
tried to. I wanted Princess Di in the first half, Prince Charles in the second, and then I wanted to forge a reunion, you know, something nice for the viewers. It would have been lovely.
Perhaps the Queen could do the warm-up.
It would have been lovely, wouldn't it? Do you know, you've been sat here now for, what, 10 minutes, something like that. and I've never once thought of my corns. That's how good you are.
God bless you, thank you.
But you know, I've just thought of
What?
something what would be lovely. It would be really lovely to have you back in your rightful place in the interviewing chair. Shall we let him, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, God. Let's relive the 70s. Come on, sit there. Lovely.
Do I have a...
It suits you. You look lovely there. It's the 70s all over again. So, Parky.
Yes.
Fire away.
Fire away. What's been your most embarrassing moment?
You've not lost it, Parky. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Parkinson. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome everybody's favourite royalty, Lord Patrick Litchfield. I've always wanted to meet royalty.
I'm
I
not really royalty. I'm just...
Oh, you'll do. I mean, to be honest, you weren't my first choice. You know, she did Panorama, but we'll make the most of you now. We've got you here.
Good.
Is it great being royalty?
I'm not. I'm just connected rather distantly. And anyway, I work for them sometimes as a tradesman.
As a photographer, yeah. Yes, of course you do. But you've photographed some of the most beautiful women in the world, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Fergie.
I only photographed Fergie when she was 3.
When she was 3?
Mm,
So
on a wheelbarrow.
It wasn't you who took those pictures of that bloke's foot in a gob?
No.
Wasn't
No, that's much too hard work. You have to crawl through the undergrowth. No, I don't want to do that.
But you know something about me? I'm not photogenic. I'm probably
I don't believe
surprised. No, I'm not. I always look inside out for some reason. Why is that, do you think?
You know, it's a long time since I photographed anybody in a hat. I'd love to photograph you.
Would you really?
I really would. Where can we do it?
Oh. Well, maybe later, you know. It's not for one of your dirty calendars, is it? Because you do those dirty calendars.
No, they're not dirty. I've just finished one, actually. I've just finished one, and there's nothing dirty about it at all.
But they haven't got any
They have.
cardigans
They
on,
have.
have they? My husband, Mr. Merton, he goes to night classes where nude models, they pose for photographers, you know.
Oh, yes, I suppose they do.
Well,
yeah.
he's very keen on it, and he's hoping to get a camera for Christmas. But, you know, pictures, I get my pictures back from the chemist, and nobody's got any heads on them.
Yes, I know. The interesting thing, actually, about that is that there was somebody a couple of years ago who got all their pictures back, and all they could see was this blurry wall and and they kept saying these aren't my pictures, and also there was a little pink thing in the bottom left-hand corner of every picture, yeah, which was also luckily blurry. And she looked through the camera the wrong way around, and the pink bit was
It was the Queen, was it? Was it the Queen? No, you're not saying. We know, don't we? God bless her. She's just like us, isn't she? But did you manage to get any pictures of the Queen's Annus Horribilis?
I think that particular year I wasn't actually employed to do any work, but I know what you mean.
Yes. But, you know, the Queen, did you try and get a picture of her and she goes, "Not now, Paddy, I've not got my lippy on."
She's very easy to photograph. She's very quick,
she?
so long as you're quick, yeah. Most of the people you photograph have got very little time. They'll always say they'll give you 10 minutes, they'll give you 5, or whatever they give, they'll halve it.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's nothing wrong with 5 minutes if you rehearse it. No, I don't
You
think
love
that.
being royalty, don't you?
I hate it. I mean, I hate talking about it because I'm not supposed to. So
What would they say? Don't
no, they
mention
said,
it.
that's why I'm not talking about it.
Are you not?
No.
Oh, we thought you were, didn't we? We thought this was far better than the Panorama interview. But do you mix, you know, with your own sort, with royalty, or do you socialise with for want of a better word, plebs from the general public. What do you do?
I tend to socialise with the people I work with.
The models?
Yeah,
With the no tops on?
no, they put their tops on when they talk to me.
Do they?
But, you know, we spend a lot of our lives on trips working, and so those are the people I socialise with.
But, you know, when you're at one of these royal birthday parties, you know, and there's all these lovely brandies and ports flowing, do you find that, you know, one can't take a good picture when one's bladdered?
Well, we actually have a rule about not drinking before we shoot, but it also applies to coffee. Did you know that?
No.
You start to shake after coffee. You can't hold the camera still, so it's even worse than alcohol.
Really? But I knew that you took photos, and I brought some of my pictures to show you.
Really?
Yes, I have. So I hope you'll like looking at them. Oops! This is my friend Lily. All the blood's rushing to her head there for some reason. Oh, it's upside down. She's just hot, isn't she?
Oh, isn't she wonderful? Yes. Did you take that yourself?
Yes, I did.
What's she holding there? Is that a chip?
Yes. Yes, a chip. A French fry to you. And I'm not boring you with these, am I?
What do they all have in common, these? They're just friends of yours?
Yeah, just my pictures.
Yes.
I brought for you. Do you know I don't know who they are?
No, I don't know who they are either, so...
Do you know, you can have that one for your exhibition. It's pointless me having it. I don't know them from Adam.
You don't know who they are?
No.
They don't look very happy,
No,
do
they don't. This is my friend Mary there.
With the Guinness?
Yeah, with the Guinness. And do you know what? She loves that picture. And do you know why, Patrick?
What?
Because you can't see her bow legs. She's sat down. Yeah. Give her a little kiss if you want.
Where is she?
She's there.
Oh. I thought she meant she was here.
Give her a little kiss. She doesn't go out much. She'd enjoy it. Oh. You're mad, you kissing folks. Do you know something? We're getting on great, me
We
and
are,
you.
yes,
Do you know, I mean, I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but that's the good thing about me. I can get on with, like, royalty and with, like, riff-raff like Sylvia over there. It's a lovely gift to have that I've got. It really is. But does anybody like to ask Lord Patrick Litchfield a question? Oh, it would be right.
Yes, there's a lady at the back.
Oh, thank you, Lord Litchfield. What's about this lady in the red? What would you like to ask?
We live quite close to you, Lord Litchfield, just about 2 miles down the road.
Oh.
Well, 3 if you count your front garden.
Oh.
Where do you live?
Wildwood.
Oh, I see. It's just round the corner.
Yes, yes.
Wasn't that nice to meet a neighbour on your show?
Lovely, isn't it?
Perhaps I should take her photograph for a calendar.
Well, I think you'll be going home together.
Would you like a lift home?
Well, we can go in convoy, can't we?
Yes.
No, he means. Too common, aren't they? Any other questions? What? Roy, now, Roy, remember what I said about beheading? What would you like to ask, Roy?
Your Grace, have you seen anything of Lady... Have you seen anything of Lady Thurso on your travels?
No, why should I have done?
She lives in Caithness Castle.
But that's nowhere near me.
She's a personal friend of mine.
Ah.
Yeah.
Ignore him, Patrick. Don't be trying to answer him. Do you know what would be a lovely idea, if you don't mind, if you really don't mind? I've brought my camera with me, and it would be lovely. Would you mind getting a picture of me and the audience?
You want me to take it?
Yes.
Are you going to pay me?
No. I'll show you what, I don't know how... That's the flash there. And be careful of your thumbs and everything. Now, is there anybody in particular think we should move? Anybody too gormless?
Do you really want me to do this?
Yes, it'd be lovely. Just get me natural, like that. Oh, lovely. Oh, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Lord Patrick Litchfield. So, seconds out while I go the distance with everybody's favourite boxer, Chris Eubank. No, we don't have to kiss. We don't have to kiss. Sit down, not bothered. I'm not bothered about not kissing you.
My makeup will come off.
Oh. So, Chris, as a young child, were you involved in, you know, fisticuffs?
Yes.
Yes. What sort of fisticuffs?
Well, just...
Playground?
Yeah, school fighting, street fighting. In the inner city, where I come from, it's a normal, everyday occurrence, you know, people...
Fight?
Well, yeah, I mean, as children, you don't really know how to express yourself, and so therefore, you do what comes to mind, which is to be belligerent, you know.
Yes. A lot of people watching, me and you know, a lot of people watching won't know what belligerent means. What exactly is belligerent in the inner city schools?
To be antagonistic.
Antagonistic.
To argue, to...
mess about.
Mess about, to get into, you know, verbal arguments and, you know, to have bad minds towards each other type of thing.
Yes, yes. I like your outfit, Chris. Is it Marx's? Marks and Spencer's?
My wife, in actual fact, shops at Marks and Spencer's. And what she does, she buys an ordinary outfit and she changes the buttons and everything and she makes it look spectacular. So Marks and Spencer's, in actual fact, has some very good quality clothing.
It does. And you know what's brilliant? You can wear something, you know, wear it to death and take it back and get your money back. I know Sylvia and Enid do that. But you know, Hookie, he's the band leader over there. Well, apparently, last night he was saying he could batter you in a fight. Okay. But today, now he's sober, you know, he wants nothing to do with it.
Well, he probably could, because I'm a non-violent man. In fact, in the last 13 years, I've never had one fight, or I've not had one fight on the street, or an illegal fight. So you'll probably find that many people in this audience even are more violent than I am.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, can we clear something up at this
you can,
point?
of course.
Do you see Roy there with the glasses? Have you ever had a fight with him? Just answer me yes or no.
Of course not.
No, you liar, Roy. Tell me this now. Who's the best British boxer then?
The best British...
Oh! Would you say that's true, Chris Eubank? You're the best British boxer?
No, I'm not.
What about the boy who beat you last time?
Statistically, he's obviously a better fighter than me.
Do you think so?
Statistically.
Were you as surprised as we all were when he came from behind and he licked you in the ring? Were you surprised? The thing about... Were you? The thing about Steve Collins, he's Irish, isn't he? And they are great fighters, aren't they, the Irish? Had he had a drink? You know? Oh, come on, Chris. Chris Eubank, come on. It's a chat show. What did you feel about that? I don't want to bring back unhappy memories. You're going to punch me. What are you thinking? Oh, Chris.
I'm thinking, well, you've not given me any question I can answer. All you've done is made a statement. And the
Okay,
statements are
how
incorrect.
did you feel? How did you feel when Steve Collins, he sadly beat you? How did you feel?
How did I feel?
Was it hard?
Well, how I felt was like this. In life, you win and lose. You win some, you lose some. I've won 43 and
Yes.
lost 2 and drawn 2. It happens to be one of these happenings of life, and basically you got to take it like you take the victories. You have to treat it the same.
My son Malcolm, he had not a fight like that you have, not that sort of fight, but a little tiff with a local boy in the library where he works. And after it was all sorted out, they were the best of friends, you know. But is that how you and, you know, say, Nigel Benn or Steve Collins feel afterwards? Or are you always gagging to fight them again?
The fighting aspect of it is a business. It's nothing personal. Although, to be honest with Steve Collins, I don't care for the man. The fighter is a good fighter in that he beat me, and I have to give him that due respect.
Why don't you like him?
Well, he said things which were unreasonable, and I don't get on with unreasonable people.
Did he say, come on over here if you think you're hard enough? No, he didn't say that. Can I ask you something? When you next go in the ring, can you remember me and all the old ladies in here tonight? And can you kick some ass for us? Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Eubank. Great time tonight, haven't we, Chris? Lovely. But sadly, that's the end of the show. I'd like to thank all my guests tonight. Take it away, Hooky and the boys.